GTA is one of the cornerstones for culture when it comes to music, film, etc. And obviously we have the radio stations, which is a massive part of GTA culture where you can associate certain songs and music with GTA. However, the music has to come from somewhere, and apparently Rockstar gave a really lowball offer. I want to see what that's about. But the title of this video is Rockstar's insulting offer to musicians for GTA 6 soundtrack. Let's see what's happening here.
Rockstar is under serious fire for how they're handling music licensing in GTA 6. Recently, Martin Ware, co-founder of Heaven 17 and co-writer of the 1983 hit Temptation, revealed that Rockstar offered him just $7,500 to use his song in GTA 6.
Okay, so $7,500 for a soundtrack in GTA.
Forever. $7,500. Not per year, not as royalties, a one-time flat payment. That's pennies considering GTA 6 is expected to rake in billions of dollars. So today, we're breaking...
So the question here is this... I mean, honestly, I'm actually not... other things I know a fair amount about with this stuff, like when it comes to business and gaming and all that sort of stuff, but when it comes to music licensing, I don't know. I assume that royalties is definitely a big part of it. That's an undoubted thing, but obviously $7,500 is nothing. However, and especially with royalties... I can see why there's a controversy here, but I don't know what standard practice is for this sort of thing. What is the standard amount?
So here's what happened. Martin Ware, who co-wrote the song Temptation, revealed on X that he was contacted by Rockstar.
I was recently contacted by my publishers on behalf of Rockstar regarding the possibility of using Temptation on the new GTA 6. Naturally excited about the immense wealth that was about to head my way, I scrolled to the bottom of the email regarding the offer.
About featuring the song in GTA 6. Naturally, he thought this could mean a massive payday. After all, GTA 5 made over $8.6 billion, and GTA 6 is expected to be even bigger. Then he scrolled to the bottom of the email and saw the offer was $7,500.
It was $7,500 for a buyout of any future royalties from the game forever. To put this in context, GTA 6 gross weight for $8.6 billion. But think of the exposure. Go, okay, so... This tells me that this person said no to this offer. Interesting. Because some people would have a problem with it, but still go through with it anyway. So I want to hear more context though. I mean, obviously that's quite a lot of the context already, but I want to hear more still.
Not for a licensing fee or royalties, but a flat buyout, meaning Rockstar would own the rights to use the song forever, without paying him anything beyond that initial payment. His response, but think of the exposure. Go yourself. Quite colorful, but honestly, he has a point. At first, $7,500 might sound decent for just one song, especially for an older track from 1983. But let's put this into perspective. GTA 6 is expected to make $1 billion before release, just in pre-orders. It also could generate $3.2 billion in its first year. GTA 5 made over $8.6 billion.
Okay, so obviously the reality is that yes, GTA 6 is going to make a massive return on investment from that song more than likely. Trying to think about this from the executive's point of view too, and I can see, I can also see that the music is really important. But I genuinely don't know how to price music in this sense. I'm not saying that this is worth less than $7,500 or more than $7,500. And more to the point, I don't know what is standard when it comes to payouts for music like this.
Ware later clarified that each of the song's 3 co-writers were offered $7,500, meaning the total payout would have been $22,500. But that still wasn't enough for him to accept. He called the deal utterly unacceptable, saying he spent decades fighting for artist rights and wasn't about to sell out for pennies. So what does this mean for GTA 6's radio stations?
I think, okay, so for a better understanding of this, I actually just asked ChatGPT how much did Rockstar pay Chain Gang 1974 for Sleepwalking, which is the soundtrack for Sleepwalking, and I'll show you the screenshot that I'm seeing on my other screen, but it's basically saying that the financials were not disclosed, so we can't really compare this to GTA 5 in terms of what's standard for a GTA game. I will say though, honestly, I genuinely can't pass judgment. I don't know if this is normal in music licensing. I feel like, honestly, I tried to pride myself on talking about things I know. I don't know enough about this, so let's just keep watching.
If Rockstar is lowballing artists, there are a few possibilities. Fewer big-name songs. If artists reject these deals, Rockstar might struggle to get huge hits on the soundtrack. Rockstar could focus on smaller musicians willing to accept lower payouts for the exposure. They might fill in some stations with custom tracks like they did with Fly Low FM, and other curated stations in GTA 5. More modern deals with streaming services. Could we see Spotify integration or a live updating soundtrack in GTA 6? Either way, it raises...
Here's the thing, I do believe that this GTA is going to go differently when it comes to film, TV, and music. And I think they have the option to do that. So it could be that we see Spotify connections or whatever else it might be. It'd be funny if it was like Deezer or SoundCloud, but either way, they could do that. My guess, though, is that they're not going to, generally speaking, lowball offers. Or at the very least, they're not going to let the prices stop the game from being iconic, culturally speaking. What I would like to know, though, is, okay, the soundtrack for the game is one thing when it comes to like the main menu or the intro sequence, but what about the radio station? What sort of agreements do we have? For example, Radio Los Santos, the hip hop radio station in GTA 5. I wonder how much each track was paid for, how much that was worth, etc. And I wonder how different that is compared to a game soundtrack like you would see in the intro sequence. Like I say, my guess is that Rockstar isn't generally going to cheap out on that, or at the very least, they're not going to let the game be less iconic just because they weren't willing to spend enough. I honestly expect Rockstar to pay what they need to get the game in the place it needs to be. My other consideration, potentially, is that Rockstar lowballed this to see what the lowest offer they could go with, and it would be really interesting to see if this song ends up as the official soundtrack for GTA 6 once Rockstar pays more. I don't know, this could be a negotiation tactic. I'm not saying it is one, but it could be.
Some also speculated that Rockstar has made similar offers to dozens of other artists.
That's what I was going to say, is I don't know what... And to be clear, even if they did offer similar deals to other artists, that's not to say that it's fair. That's not what I'm saying at all. It might just be that they're not the only one who's getting a lowball offer.
Meaning, there could be a lot of rejected deals we don't even know about. To be fair, this is pretty standard in the gaming industry. Most companies pay a flat fee for music rights, rather than offering royalties.
Okay, see, I didn't know about that.
Movies and TV shows often work this way too. But when a game is expected to make billions, some people...
The reason why I didn't know about that is because actors, for example, do receive royalties. So one part of the art form in that show does receive royalties, but the other art form doesn't receive royalties. I'm not saying it's fair or unfair, just stating what I'm noticing there.
I think Rockstar should be paying musicians more fairly. Would you rather see Rockstar pay higher fees for major songs, or are you cool with a mix of lesser-known artists and original tracks?
I personally think that they were right to reject the offer if they felt like it was unfair. Everyone has the right in business to say no, obviously. Whether or not this was a mistake of them, I think that literally depends on what this artist's values are. If they're happy with making less money, because they will, overall they're going to make less money from not being in GTA 6. There won't be as much demand for their track, which might, for example, have effects on their concerts if they're still playing live. So I definitely think they'll have missed out on a business opportunity, but whether or not that is worth selling out whatever their values are, that's for them to decide. Personally, I'm not enough of a music industry veteran to know whether or not 7,500 is enough for this. I'm assuming it's not, but what I would say is that I don't expect Rockstar to compromise the quality of the game for music rights deals. I think this may have been a negotiation tactic. I'm not saying it's a good one or an ethical one for that matter, but it may well have been a negotiation tactic, and potentially we'll still see the song in the game, but behind the scenes negotiations may have changed.